Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a supernatural horror film, The Victim. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie starts with Ting, an aspiring actress who is very sincere in developing her skills in acting. She makes herself busy by attending different seminars and workshops to enhance her talents. One day, Ting happily brags to the canteen owner that the camera captures her beautiful smile. They are watching a game show, where she was invited as a part of the audience. She is very proud, even if it is just a short exposure. Suddenly, Lieutenant, a policeman and the head of the crime reenactment unit, approaches her and offers her a job to reenact the crime scenes that he is handling. The photos of the scenes will be published in the newspaper to show how the police resolved the crime. At first, Ting is hesitant to accept the offer because she worries that she might insult the souls of the dead victims. But because of Lieutenant's encouragement, she eventually agrees. Ting's first project is a rape case. The offender and the victim's family are at the crime scene. Ting checks the pictures of the victim and internalizes to feel the character. Immediately, the reenactment starts. The people are amazed at how Ting portrays the role. In fact, the family are carried away on the scene and beat the offender. After the shoot, Ting lights an incense stick to give respect to the soul of the victim and asks for forgiveness if she did something wrong. Suddenly, the beheaded ghost of the victim appears in front of her. Ting doesn't see it, but she feels something weird. In the canteen, the owner congratulates Ting and asks for her autograph. He then hands over the newspaper with her picture of the reenactment. Afterward, Lieutenant arrives and asks for her autograph as well. Lieutenant tells her that he receives compliments on how great the shooting was. In fact, his colleagues from other stations asked Ting to work for them with high pay. Since then, Ting has received a lot of projects and become famous. It becomes her ritual to light incense after the shooting to pray for the dead victims. She is not aware that the ghosts of the victims appear whenever she lights an incense, but she can feel that there is something off. It seems like the ghosts are thanking her for delivering the scene well, and they can now rest because they already find justice. At home, Ting watches the news regarding the murder of Meen, a famous beauty queen. She wants to portray Meen's role in the reenactment to gain popularity. The murder case received a lot of attention because Meen was a former runner-up of Miss Universe. According to the reporter, the police obtained the evidence with the help of a ghost. The police officers go to a motel, where they are investigating another case. Suddenly, they hear someone who is screaming for help in the next room. According to the owner, no one rents there, and it has been abandoned for so long. The room is so dark, and they only use a small flashlight to check the area. The officer sees water on the floor, so he checks the bathroom to see if there is leakage. He focuses the flashlight on the bathtub and sees a huge plastic bag. He screams to death after seeing a hand suddenly hold the side of the tub, so he hurriedly opens the lights. When they check the bathtub, they don't see the plastic bag or even the water on the floor, but they see blood stains and heart tissues on the tub. After the investigation, they find out that the blood stains and heart tissues belong to Meen, and the police conclude that the culprit is Meen's husband, who attempted to conceal the case by chopping the body into pieces. Ting gathers information about Meen's case. She even watches her fashion shows to study her movements. Suddenly, she receives a call from Lieutenant, informing her that she will not be playing the role of Meen, because a female officer has chosen to play the character instead. Ting lets out a sigh and prays to Meen that if she gets a chance to portray her character, she will do her best and play her heart out. Suddenly, the wind enters the room, then flips the pages of the magazine. The next day, Lieutenant receives a phone call that the female officer died because of a heart attack, so he informs her that she will now play Meen's role. Ting is in the convenience store when she receives the call. She is very happy upon hearing the great news without knowing the death of the female officer. The reflection of Meen's ghost suddenly appears on the refrigerator of the store. It turns out the ghost kills the female officer so that Ting can get the role. Lieutenant doesn't inform Ting what happened to the female officer because he is afraid that she will be scared and might not accept the role. At home, Ting wears a wig and clothes the same as Meen. She keeps on practicing Meen's moves to portray her role effectively. While she is practicing the dance steps, she is unaware that Meen's ghost is guiding her movements. After a short while, she feels something weird and finds Meen's ghost beside her, but it's gone in a blink of an eye. The next day, Ting goes to the crime scene. She enters the bathroom, then prays for Meen's soul's guidance. She wants to practice at the place where Meen was murdered in order to make her performance as realistic as possible. When Ting lies down on the bathtub, she eventually feels and sees how Meen was murdered. Afterward, she sees herself walking in her apartment's corridor. Suddenly, a blooded woman passes her by. After a while, the blooded woman asks for her help. Out of curiosity, Ting comes closer to her and asks if she is alright, while she is unaware that ghosts are following her movements. The woman holds her shoulder, which makes Ting scream to death. When she turns around, she sees the ghosts, who are asking for her help. She helplessly screams, while the ghosts mob her. Suddenly, Meen's ghost appears and tells her that it was not him. Then Ting wakes up from the nightmare and finds herself lying down on the bathtub. Luckily, it is just a bad dream, but it seems like Meen wants to tell her something about the murder case. Ting suddenly receives a phone call from Lieutenant. She tells him that she feels something weird in Meen's case and thinks that Meen's husband is just a scapegoat for the crime. But Lieutenant disagrees because the evidence that they have against him is very strong. Lieutenant is about to tell Ting something when all of a sudden, the line gets disconnected. Afterward, the radio on his car suddenly changes station while he is driving. Meen's ghost appears and grabs Lieutenant's hand that is on the steering wheel. Quickly, a truck appears in front of him, so he hits the pole to avoid it. The day of his shoot arrives. The media are taking pictures, while Meen's husband is telling the police how he murdered his wife. Ting appears, and the reenactment starts. Suddenly, she sees Meen's ghost, who keeps on telling her that it was not him. Eventually, Meen possesses Ting, then hugs her husband and begs him to just tell the truth. Afterward, Lieutenant, who just had an accident, arrives and grabs Ting. All of a sudden, Ting loses consciousness and finds herself lying on the hospital bed. Lieutenant tells Ting that the case is already closed and he will not allow her to take Meen's role anymore because the cops are spooked by Meen's soul. Ting goes to a spirit warrior and finds out that she is possessed by Meen's ghost. When the spirit warrior starts the ritual, Ting suddenly draws a face on the paper. She goes to Meen's house and finds out that the woman she drew is Meen's close friend, a plastic surgeon. According to the police, the surgeon used to be one of the suspects, but was immediately dismissed because the evidence that they found points to Meen's husband. Ting goes to the surgeon's house to talk to her. The surgeon tells Ting how she met Meen and expresses her disappointment because Meen married her husband. Ting feels a bit awkward, so she goes to the comfort room. She immediately goes out when she hears that her phone is ringing. She checks her bag, but doesn't find her phone. Suddenly, the surgeon appears beside her and asks for favor in return for the information that she gave to her. The surgeon puts a makeup on Ting to copy the appearance of Meen. Suddenly, she forces her to put on the coronet, then confesses her love for Meen. She admits that she is the one who killed her and planted the evidence, so that Meen's husband will become the suspect. Ting is very surprised when the surgeon is about to stab her. Luckily, Lieutenant arrives in time and shoots the surgeon. When he is about to check Ting, a ghost appears that makes him scream. Afterward, it is revealed that they are in the actual shoot, filming Meen's murder, and the actress, the girl, May, portrays the role of Ting. The crew are surprised when the actor, playing the role of Lieutenant, asks to stop the shoot because he sees a ghost. All of a sudden, May loses her consciousness. The murder case of Meen becomes very famous because the case was resolved with the help of Meen's ghost. They find out that the surgeon is the one who killed Meen, and the husband is innocent. She confesses that she murdered Meen out of disappointment because she cannot return her love for her and married her husband instead. Due to its popularity, the murder case was made into a movie. May arrives at the shooting location when overhears the conversation of the crew and the director that they are haunted by the scene where May needs to dance the Licky opera. She asks the crew whose idea is the Licky dance scene, but they change the topic and tell May to put on her makeup and prepare for the shoot. It seems like they are hiding something from her. May shares the dressing room with another actress who portrays the surgeon's character in the movie. May says that she doesn't have enough sleep because of her nightmares. The makeup artist asks her if feels anything strange after she faints on the shoot. May is very surprised because she cannot remember that she fainted, but the actress calls the makeup artist's attention before he tells more information to May and reminds him that they are prohibited from telling May what happened. In a shoot later, the director hears a scream when he cuts the scene. He feels that it is something unnatural. That's why he finds it hard to continue the scene. One of the crew talks to him and asks him to just finish the scene, and she will deal with the spirit that haunts the shooting. That night, the crew goes to the location of the shooting alone. She lights an incense stick and asks the soul not to bother them and allow them to finish the movie peacefully. Unfortunately, the ghost kills her right in an instant. May gets very curious, so she wants to know what happened when she fainted because she feels that it is connected to the death of the crew. She talks to the actress who portrays the role of Meen. The actress tells her that she had a seizure and looked possessed during the scene where the ghost of Meen teaches her to do the Licky dance. All of a sudden, she collapsed when the director took off the coronet on her head. It runs out. May was possessed when she wore the coronet in the set. The director is afraid that the shooting will be delayed, so he ordered the people on the set to keep everything a secret and just tell that May only had epilepsy. There is something weird with the coronet that the director surely knows. That night, the editor calls the director, telling him that their cameras captured ghosts in the scene. Suddenly, the phone rings, so the editor goes out. The director plays the scene where he hears a scream. After that, he calls another crew, but he is interrupted when hearing another scream. Suddenly, the lights turn off, then a ghost appears and kills the director. May receives a call from the director, but it is suddenly disconnected. She tries to call him back, but his line is out of reach. Afterwards, she receives a call, informing her that the director is already dead. She cannot believe it because he just called her. Then she hears a whisper that she will be the next. All of a sudden, a ghost appears. Mei is very scared, so she runs to her room, but the ghost follows her and pushes her to the balcony. Mei wakes up because of the alarm. Luckily, it is just a nightmare. She goes to the comfort room to drink water when she sees a ghost in the mirror. She screams and finds herself on the bed. It is just another nightmare, but she is shocked to see herself wearing red lipstick, so she hurriedly wipes it. The next day, Mei goes to the cemetery and prays for Meen's soul. She thinks that the haunting will end there, but a ghost appears again in the parking area. She runs as fast as she can, but the ghost follows her. She is surprised to find herself in the park, wearing a leaky costume. In confusion, she goes to the car, then wipes the makeup on her face. She remembers the licky dance scene where she was possessed, so she calls a crew and begs for the truth. When the crew is about to tell her what happened in the Abladian, the line disconnects. Unfortunately, the ghost kills the crew. Mei goes to the studio to look for the crew, but she doesn't find him. She looks at the computer and finds an email from the crew, explaining what happened on the day of the Abladian. It's revealed that when they are busy with the ritual, Mei goes inside a room with a lot of antiques. She wears one of the coronets, then a spirit possesses her. The spirit goes away when they take off the coronet. The director decides to keep the coronet as props in the movie. The coronet comes from an unknown person who asked them to give it to Mei as a present. In the email, the crew asks Mei to get rid of the coronet. Mei hurriedly looks for it, but a ghost chases her. Luckily, she is able to get the coronet and drives her car away from the building. While driving, Mei is shocked when she looks at the mirror, finding the ghost is putting the coronet on her head. She closes her eyes in a bit, and when she opens it, she finds herself in a familiar place. It is the house of her gay friend. In the room, she finds her picture on the wall. She asks her friend if he is the one behind all the creepy things that are happening. The friend starts to tell the story that he really wants to look just like her, so he underwent plastic surgery to make himself look like Mei, but it is not enough. He didn't have enough money for another surgery, so he went to a quack doctor. But unfortunately, he died in the surgery, and the quack doctor threw his body in the river to cover his death. Mei is brokenhearted upon hearing the story and promises that she will help him find justice. She reports the situation, and soon the officers find the dead body of her friend in the river. Mei thinks it is over because her dead friend already finds justice, but when she is in the room having her makeup done, the ghost of her friend appears and screams that he wants to be her. It is revealed that it was actually the friend who gave the haunted coronet to Mei. He is very obsessed with Mei and is willing to do everything just to make his illusion come true. The movie ends in the scene where Mei is wearing red lipstick, smiling creepily and saying that she is Mei. Obviously, the gay friend has successfully possessed Mei. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.